this is Lenore Lasser of Lenore Pours, and you definitely don't want to miss next pouring session. We are going to have an amazing time. We're going to talk about a variety of things. So make sure that you like and share this pouring session. And not only that, if you're on Facebook, tag a few of your friends. If you're on other social media platforms, send the link to your family and friends. I'm telling you, the sessions that we have, they are empowering, they're motivating, they're inspiring, and they're life-changing. Again, make sure that you share this upcoming podcast. Take care. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's podcast. I'm excited. I have a great guest with me on tonight, and we are just going to find out all about Miss Charlotte Robinson and her husband, Coach Robinson, and their amazing recreation, should I say life center, not a recreation center, but a life center. So we're going to find out about the life center. She's going to give us a name. So that's why I just said the life center, because as we engage in this conversation, I want her to talk to us about this life center. I had the opportunity to go out there about now 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you, I was amazed. I was so amazed at everything that her and her husband are doing out there in the great city of Hope Mills, North Carolina, and also just to hear some of the challenges that she faced and also her husband faced as well. But the resiliency, the passion, and the love kept them going. And I mean, yes, I'm super excited about this conversation. So if you're watching tonight, go ahead and make sure that you like and share this podcast. But before we begin, I just want Miss Charlotte to give you all just a brief introduction, and then I'm just going to show you all a quick video concerning the Life Center. So Miss Charlotte, tell the audience tonight a little bit about yourself and tell us the name of this great Life Center that you and your amazing husband founded.
Okay, well, first of all, thanks for having me. And the project that we're going to be talking about tonight is the TJ Robinson Life Center. Like Lenore said, it is a project out in Hope Mills. More people will be familiar with Fayetteville, Cumberland County. Okay. It is a 57,000, that's right, you heard it right, 57,000 square foot life center / sports complex. So my husband and I got here in 1988 through the military. We're both retired military. I am a nurse by trade, and he is logistics supply. So we got here and started working with the kids in the community, and our program grew so large that we had to figure it out. We're like, where are we going to house these programs and these kids? So voila, there comes the TJ Robinson Life Center.
Wow. Wow. So you all served this great country, and then you came here in the Fayetteville, North Carolina area, Cumberland County, I will say that. And you all established this great program. You said that the program grew tremendously, and you're like, okay, what do we do next? And then you all founded the TJR Life Center. So we're going to talk about why did you all name it the TJR Life Center. We're just going to dig a little bit deeper. But before we do, let me see if we have any comments. And if you are watching, I always like to shout out my guests. So make sure that you comment on tonight so that I can recognize you. I see that we do have some viewers on, but I want to acknowledge you. So whenever you get a chance, go ahead and make a comment, and I will acknowledge you. And while you're watching, go ahead and like and share this podcast. We're streaming live tonight on Facebook, and we're also streaming live on YouTube and LinkedIn. And just want to put out, I share this prior to us getting started. Facebook is having some technical difficulties with StreamYard and comments. So if I don't shout your name out. That could be ultimately the reason why. They stated, StreamYard stated that they did report the issues to Facebook. So, unfortunately, if you do comment utilizing the Facebook platform and I don't acknowledge you, that's the reason why. But you can jump on over there to YouTube land or LinkedIn land and you can comment so that we can engage you on tonight because that's what it's all about, engaging and asking
Absolutely.
some questions. Because when I tell you, Miss Charlotte, and her husband, they're heavy hitters. They are heavy hitters and they're doing some amazing things in the community. So let me just show this quick video. And I do have some other snippets that we're going to show also as well as we go throughout the podcast. So you guys watch this.
Why there's so much excitement about this place. I mean, look at this place. You have a 57,000 square foot community center / sports complex. Brand spanking new, 3 springback floors, 2 hardwood courts. We can play 5 basketball games or 9 volleyball games at one time. You come talking about a place that has a full commercial kitchen, 2 large conference rooms, a massage parlor, a barber shop. Why are they excited about this place? Why would anybody not be excited about this place?
So yes, Miss Charlotte, why would individuals be so excited about this life center? And as I stated earlier, you could have named it a recreation center, but you all gave it the name Life Center. So can you just share with the audience, why did you all name it the TJR Life Center?
Well, the TJR part is for my husband, Thurston Jackie Robinson. And a lot of people come in the building, and the first thing they see is a large courts. But what started this whole concept was us working with kids in the community. When
Okay.
that's why it's called a life center, because it's all about the life changing station. The motto, which you'll hear me say a couple of times throughout this podcast, is it is the place where kids will teach seniors how to text while seniors teach kids how to have respect. And
Ooh,
what that means is we have programs from I have a 90-year-old senior all the way down to a 4-year-old developmental league basketball player. So it's an all encompass life center. This is truly the place where people can say, this is a village raising the children.
wow.
Yes.
So you said that the oldest is 90 years old?
90 years young.
90, okay, 90
Yeah.
years young. Yes, I love it.
She
90
would
years.
let you know. She would
Really?
let you know. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. And you stated that the youngest is 4 years
We
old.
have a 4-year-old developmental basketball program.
Okay. Now, if
Mhm.
I heard you correctly, you stated that where the young teach the old how to text.
And it will be a place where kids will teach seniors how to text, while
Okay.
seniors teach kids how to have respect,
Have
which I
respect.
feel is a lost art in today's society.
It really is a lost art. And
Mhm.
talk about the reason why you think or believe, because it is factual
Mhm.
that it is a large art. So why did you all come up with that proverbial mantra?
I was raised by a grandmother in a small little town outside of Wilmington, 26 miles from Wilmington, called Woodside, North Carolina. And it was
Okay.
a community it was a community setting. And everybody there, I'm going to say, was raised right. Now
Okay.
there were some single parents in the community, not a lot, but everybody there knew that they respect their elders, they worked hard. And we was a big faith community. My grandmother and my mother were both big faith, big believers. I tell the story about my grandmother. Even at 92 years old with dementia, the last thing she remembered after she forgot her whole family was Jesus. She
Wow.
still remembered Bible verses. She still wanted to get on her knees and pray. So it was important to us because we wanted to have a place where kids first walked in the door and established and looked around and saw Black excellence. Because I tell
Mm,
everybody, I am excellent on purpose, and I am unapologetically Black on purpose. And sometimes running into different people that is kind of like, I think people look at it in some kind of way as very conceited. No, I'm extremely confident. And I want the kids that walk through our doors to feel that. Like, hey,
Mm,
if I put my faith and my integrity, if I keep my faith and my integrity intact, I can do anything because
yes.
you and Jesus is the majority. Always.
Yes. Yes. I
Always.
love it. I love it. I love it, Miss Charlotte. Now, listen, everyone. I again, normally I flash your comments on the screen, but because of StreamYard difficulties, I am using my phone to read the comments. But Miss Regina is on. She said, "Hey, y'all. Hey, Miss Regina. Thank you so much for tuning in." Sherry
Hey.
Dawson Williams is on. She said, "I'm here." Roderick T. Williams, he said, "Wow," when you were giving that description about
Wow.
the TJR Life Center. And
Mhm.
he also stated, "I'm coming to shoot some hoops." All right, Roger.
There you go. There you go.
Love it, love it. Zanetta Lewis said, "Videos done by Joe Jam Media." Thank you so much. Thank you
Mhm.
so much, Zanetta, for that, and some amazing videos. So yes, thank you so much for those who are tuned in. Again, go ahead and like and share this podcast. And as you stated, Miss Charlotte, I think that this generation really needs to be taught respect. We see so much going on
Mhm.
in the news and society, and the Life Center is where is at. I mean, sports. When I was reading about your husband, you know, kind of like his little bio and overview was talking about
Mhm.
how sports is so instrumental in teaching a lot of principles. So, can you elaborate on the importance of sports and how young people can learn so much through the sports acumen?
I mean, think about it. If you think about it, first of all, youth sports
Mhm.
has is factual. That
Right,
is the number one way to get kids' attention. The number
right.
one way. And what our concept always was, okay, we'll bring them in. It'll
Okay,
be about basketball, and
right.
then while we have them, we'll teach them life skills. And so
Mm,
that was the method to our formula. When you walk into our facility, you'll see about 0.5% of the accolades won by the young men that were in our program way back in 1988,
mhm.
1989. And to date, 887 kids have come through our program, and we only have one kid in trouble. Now, that's a probably
Wow,
99.99% success rate right there. So the
wow.
building is brand new. We moved in here in March 2022, but the concept started in 1988 when we got here to Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Wow. So you all have been at this a long time.
Long, long, long time.
And you said out of 800 plus children that have transitioned through your program or that are going, you know, that have
Mhm.
been and currently are going
Right.
through your program, only one have been in trouble.
One is in trouble.
One is
One is
in
in
trouble.
trouble. I'm sure a lot of them have been in and out of
Right,
situations, but they were able to get in and out.
right.
So, because our big focus was life skills, I hope you have the video of the four young men who
Yes,
tell their testimony. Okay,
yes,
all
yes,
right. Well,
that's a great segue. That's a great
That's gonna do
segue.
everything. Absolutely. But getting back to the question was,
Mhm.
youth sports is an excellent way to bring kids in because in youth sports you got to learn teamwork. You
Okay.
got to learn discipline. And
Mhm.
those are two very important things in everything else that you do in life. So, my husband, I call him the at risk kid whisperer. I've never seen anybody with the ability to bring a kid in. And now that kid wants to do better. So, I feel if you hear me in the video talk about how it breaks my heart to hear kids being talked about things nobody ever taught them. So if you get
Right.
a kid who has never heard about financial literacy, never heard about being respectful, they're environmentally handicapped, but then you put them out there in the world and everybody is beating them down, beating them down, beating them down. But where
Right.
were they supposed to learn that from? We have a
Right.
whole Black History wall in our building when you walk in, as soon as you walk in, straight to the left. And we have that because when you go to school, most schools you hear about Rosa Parks and
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King.
Right.
Okay. There's nothing about Black Wall Street. There's nothing about Fannie Lou Hamer. So if we do not control the narrative, then
Right.
our kids get what whoever controls the narrative wants
Right.
them to have.
Right.
So this project was about changing the narrative. I
Mhm.
want our kids to understand you got royal blood running through your vein. You
Right.
royalty. You
Right.
belong to the most high. So
Yes.
you are excellent. So in
Right.
the end, we won't settle for anything less. We want a 10. At everything that you do, we want a 10. A 10,
Love it.
a 10, a 10.
Love
That-
it, love it, love it. And we had some comments that came in. Resh stated, TJ Robinson is a breath of fresh air for both youth and adults. I love that. Also stated the support they provide not only through sports, but by being present in the lives of individuals
Mhm.
really changes perspectives. T TJ, excuse me, perspectives for both children and young adults. Resh
Absolutely.
also stated it's it's the positive reinforcement that produces positive minds and even success. TJ Robinson and the team does that. So shout out to TJ Robinson. I mean,
Absolutely.
this is good stuff. And these comments here have came in from Resh Haryani. I apologize if I mispronounce your name. And again, for those who are just tuning in, normally I will flash your comments on the screen, but StreamYard and Facebook, they're having some technical difficulties. But if you would like for your comments to flash on the screen, head on over to YouTube land, look up Lenore Porras and type your comments in YouTube land, and then we can flash them on the screen. Or if you're on LinkedIn, you can look me up as Lenore Lasser. So let's play that video, Miss Charlotte, in regards to those young men. Okay. All right. You all watch this amazing video.
Wiley, aka Chris, from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
My name is Bobby Duncan, and I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
My name is James McGugan from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
My name is Pleasure Bohannon, and I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
I was 14 when I first began. We won our first championship together.
I was part of the program about 5 years. I started in 9th grade. I played through high school, then went to college.
I was 11 when I started the program, and I was with Coach Rob for 2 years.
Coach Rob is an idol. He's just a respectable man. Everyone shows him respect.
Well, Coach Rob has always implemented that hard work beats talent. So even through practice, even through school, if you're not going to work hard, you're not going to get far, no matter how talented you can be. So with that being said, man, he always told me work hard with my trade and being a father. Even if I'm outside, pay attention when you're driving. Work hard at that if you're not good at it.
My grades changed dramatically. He helped me out through the years, and I definitely wouldn't have graduated if it wasn't for him.
I feel like Coach Rob gave me more direction of where I needed to be, where I needed to go. I realized if I wanted to play, I had to make good grades. So, hey, I was on the court, you know.
Definitely academics was major for him.
I had to get my grades up with Coach Rob. He wouldn't let you play. He wouldn't let you be around if you didn't have no high grades. So it wasn't bad though. He always made it fun.
We'd have study hall, and he had to make sure we were in there. If not, we wouldn't be able to practice that day.
He stressed the fact to get those grades up. You know, he got in there if he had to, but he made you do it.
Now I'm a HVAC certified, so that means like I work on air conditioners. I have my own trade and that, so I can work for any company, even work for myself.
Now, I just did 1 year of my master's. I'm going to the military so they can provide me with the education I need.
I'm in the Army. I'm a paratrooper. And I went to college for business. I went on my own business one day.
Hopefully one day I'll be able to have a company so I can give it to my son. With him telling me hard work to stay in it, you're gonna run through a few walls, but as long as you keep going with your hard work, maybe one day I can have that company and I can pass it on to him.
Coach Rob always told me how to be your own boss. Hey, I'm here.
I'm an athlete, so I'm gonna stay in the gym and maybe open a gym like my man Coach Rob. But I just want to be successful, honestly.
I mean, I really want to be a coach also, and I think Coach Rob really showed me the right way to do it. Like, you know, he's supportive, he's always in the gym, so he definitely laid down a foundation on how to be a good coach.
See,
Aww.
I love that.
That's my babies.
I
They're
love
all
that.
grown up.
I
They're all
love
grown
that,
up.
Miss
Yes.
Charlotte.
Yes.
Just hearing
Mm-hmm.
these men,
Mm-hmm.
young men, young Black men,
Mm-hmm.
basically talk about how Coach Rob was very instrumental in their lives. I mean, and the one gentleman who had on his military uniform, he
Mm-hmm.
said, Coach Rob made sure that we had good grades because if we didn't
Absolutely.
have good grades,
There was
he
no
did not
plan.
allow us to play.
There was no plan.
So, talk about how important it was for your husband to establish that type of standard operating procedure that they had to abide by in order to play. Talk about the importance of that going hand in hand and how instrumental that was.
Just think about having been in and out of the lives of over 800 kids since we got here in 1988.
Wow.
And what we found is when we came in initially, my husband started coaching at the recreational level. And
Right.
at that time, there used to be drafts, even for the second and third graders at rec. And what he would do is he would sit back and he would let everybody pick all the kids who were the superstars. And he would wait and get what I always call the bad news bears. These would be the kids that were shy, withdrawn, couldn't dribble, couldn't do anything. But he would take those kids. And by the end of the year, we would be spanking up everybody. We never had a losing season to date. Never. Never had a losing season ever. So what would happen is his motto always was players win games, teams win championships. So that's where he would take the weakest link on the team and everybody would support. So they were brothers, they were sisters, they were a family on that team. And so bringing them into once you came into our program, we had kids coming in that was homicidal, suicidal, in trouble at school and at home. But what he said was, once you get into this program, the next semester, you got to be an AB student. You
Wow.
cannot have any disciplinary issues at home or at school. Now, he didn't have any problems coming to school and getting one of them like this up in if that's what he needed to, which was very rare because
Right.
the thing about it was they did not want to disappoint. They wanted to be a part of something that was great.
Right.
And then out of all of that, we started winning championships, winning.
Mm.
So our boys, who now becomes the most popular boys in school, everybody want a part of that, because we're
Right.
not only they're walking around, they got manners, and now they're winning national and state championships. So to
Right.
watch that was everything to me, to see these kids coming from broken homes, sometimes single parents, sometimes two parent. There's a
Right.
video that I don't think that you have from Robin Cummings, who's the current chancellor at Pembroke. Now,
Right.
technically on the outside looking in, you would think that his son had no issues. His dad was a cardiac surgeon, and then later on the chancellor at Pembroke, but he will credit his son's success, who's now he's a dental surgeon now,
Okay.
played for us for 5 years. He said Coach Rob did something. He was able to reach my son. So
Mm.
think about that when we think about kids. A lot of times when we say at-risk youth, we think black, we think poor, we think
That's
single
true.
parent. That's
Yep.
not true
It's
because in
not.
2022, any kid alive today is an at-risk youth. You got
Right.
sex trafficking, you got drugs, you got abuse, you got neglect, you got all of these things happening. You got the internet. You know
Social
what I'm saying?
media.
So social media, you got
Yes.
guns. Everybody. I had a young man come in the building the other day, and I asked him, and I asked everybody to pray for the councilwoman who lost her 15-year-old daughter to
Yes.
gun violence just last week. And this young man
Miss
knew her.
Courtney.
Yes,
Hmm.
this young man knew the young girl, and he said to me, "I just saw her on Friday." And I said, "What happened?" He said, "Guns." And I said, "What would a young person that young be doing?" He said, "Miss Charlotte, everybody has guns." And I was like,
Jesus.
"What can we do about everybody having guns?" You know?
Right. Right.
So it's I say all the time when I talk to people, it seems like a huge problem, and it is. And it
Right.
seems like most of the kids are terrible, and a lot of them are. But what we have to do is take it one kid at a time. And
Right.
our goal is to love them into submission.
Right.
Teach them what they need to know with the life skills, and then love them into submission. Give them
Mm,
an opportunity. This place is to give them a fighting chance.
mm.
Yes.
Love them to submission.
Love them into submission. Love them into
Love it.
submission.
I love
Absolutely.
that. And we have some more comments that came in. Regina Boss stated, love it. Brianna is on. She said, good evening. And of course, Resh gave the website
That's
there
right.
that
He
is
did
on
the
the screen.
website. That's
the
the website. Yeah.
tjrlifecenter.org. And as you stated, there is so much going on. And when I heard the news, I was like heartbroken. I was like, this has
Gosh.
to stop. We have to do something to reach our young people. I mean, there is so much going on in
Yes.
this world, and
Mhm.
we have to figure it out. Figure it out. And I mean, with me being a woman of faith, I mean, I know we have to continue to pray first and foremost. We have to
Absolutely.
continue to pray. And I also say a lot of this stuff that is going on, parents have to start taking back their children, meaning they need to teach their children, the evils that are out there,
Mhm.
be an example to their children first and
Mhm.
foremost, because a lot of times children are raising themselves and they're
Right.
seeing their parents act out and they're acting out, and they have
Right.
so much rage and bitterness on the inside of them, and they need to get themselves together so that they can be that
Right.
example for their children. And some parents are being an example,
Right.
but because of the influences of social media and
Mhm.
peers, they're
Mhm.
influencing their
Absolutely.
children to do wrong things. But we have to continue to pray for our kids and teach our children, listen,
Right.
you have to have a strong mindset. Don't be easily
Mm.
influenced by your peers, because your peers will make
Absolutely.
you feel like you're missing out on life. You don't get it if you're not smoking weed. You're not getting it if you're not having, sex. You're not getting it
Done.
if not out here being promiscuous, all types of things. If you're not drinking, if you're not smoking, they will have the children who are trying to do right feeling like they're missing out on something. But I'm here to let you all know, children, that you're not missing out on anything. You have a choice to make. And I know I grew up in a different generation
Mhm.
than the children that are growing up now,
Mhm.
but you have to have a strong mindset. What do you think
Yeah.
about that, Miss Charlotte?
You absolutely do. And then, a lot of times when we talk about the solution, we already know what to do. You didn't have any of those issues. I didn't have any of those issues. It
Right,
was because our parents knew what to do. It was
right,
love and discipline
right.
and structure
It
that
was.
made us who we are. A lot of
Right.
hard work, a lot of no's, because it was absolutely no. And you had somebody that was in control of your life, and
Hmm.
that was your parents.
Yes.
And so now you have kids where they're in control. They're making decisions that kids can't make. You can't let a 12-year-old decide what they're gonna see, where they're gonna go. You just can't do it. They're
Right.
not equipped to make those type of decisions. So it's not like we don't know what to do. For some reason, we went to the whole timeout and we just going to trying something and it did not work. So I don't
Right.
know why it doesn't make sense to go back to where we were when things did work out,
Right.
where the parents were in control of their children. They decided what they were going to see, eat, dress, or whatever. They made those
They
decisions.
made they
But
made
then
those
they made
decisions.
those kind of kids where they were able to stand up to certain things. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? They
Right.
knew what was right and what was wrong, and now the
Right.
lines are so blurred. You think about when we were growing up.
Right.
I was telling somebody the other day in my community, a sorry man. Oh my God, he might as well have leprosy. A sorry man. There were no sorry men in my community. There was none for two reasons. One, you weren't raised like that, and two, well, no woman gonna have nothing to do with no sorry man.
Right.
No
Right.
lady was going to have anything to do with a sorry man. Now it's just the opposite.
It
That's
is.
they're the, you know, get you a
Right.
sorry man and keep it moving.
Right.
So
Right.
I mean, and I think that's in part by design.
Yeah. Yeah.
Black kids are killing black kids record numbers. Black guys
crazy.
are killing black girls, ex-girlfriends and stuff, record numbers. Who really cares about that? Do
Right.
you really believe if this was going on all the way across the board, if every demographics, if the white kids was killing white kids or the black kids were killing white kids, do you really think that nothing, something big wouldn't happen? Somebody would do something about it. But right now, what it does with the black kids killing black kids, it fills the prisons and the graveyards, which is exactly by design. It's by
Mhm.
design. By
Wow.
design. That's
Wow.
that's that's a way to get you on out of there. You kill somebody, they're dead, and you're going to prison for 25, 30 years. So we got both of
Wow.
you two off the street, you know?
Wow. Yes. So I'm gonna read these comments and then I'm gonna make a comment in regards to we're talking about the foundation and parent structure. And I'm gonna talk about my parents. I want to insert something in. But TJR Life Center organization, someone made a statement from your page. It said it takes a village to raise a child. Being the community present and proactive is how we do our part in the mental and physical stability in our community. Absolutely agree. Danielle Colster said exactly, it starts with their foundation. Regina stated, absolutely, parents need to step it up and be parents and not their children's friends. They
Right.
need to draw the line in the sand. And that's exactly what my parents did. Let me tell you something. My mother and my father, Miss Charlotte, they were
Hmm.
all up in all five
Hmm.
all five of us, it was,
Hmm.
it's five of us, all in our business.
You didn't
Now,
have no
some of us
business.
made choices, right? We
Right.
ain't have no
You had
business,
no
but we
business.
thought we had business.
Right.
So if we even had that,
Hmm.
perception that we had
Hmm.
business, they were all up in it to the
Hmm.
point that if we were on the phone, my daddy will answer the phone before we even got on the phone. He was like, "Who is this?
Right.
Who is your mama?
Right.
What's your
Right.
daddy name?" He
Right.
will basically conduct the interview before we even
Right.
allowed to have the
Exactly.
conversation.
Exactly.
And even when we were on the phone, because see, we didn't have cell phones,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
My daddy, you'll think he done hung up. No, sorry. He was on that other end listening and say something out of line.
Hmm.
He'll call for something. We like,
Right.
oh
Oh
Lord, he
Lord,
on the
mercy,
phone.
Daddy on the
And we
phone.
didn't get to close doors.
Oh no.
Keep the door open while you having a conversation because
Mhm.
I need to be up in your nitty gritty. If
Right.
you think you got some nitty gritty, meaning the
Exactly.
business.
Exactly.
He and my mother, they were like that. Now, of course, we all make our own choices,
Hmm.
but they were the types of parents. Before we left the house in the morning time, they had a prayer with us.
Hmm.
They anointed our head.
Hmm.
That may be above some people's head watching this podcast, but
Hmm.
that's what they did. They prayed for us before we
Right.
departed and
Hmm.
left for school. They
Right.
did that. That's why, of course, we know they took prayer out of school. They took a lot of things
Right.
out of school, but they
Of
wasn't going
course.
to take it out of the Dawson's household.
Right.
You following me?
Hmm.
So it's so important that we go back to the old foundation, the old landmark. As some of the older mothers would say in church, the old landmark.
Hmm.
That's what we need to go back to because it's so much. And I think we feel as things are non-redeemable, like we cannot get back there. But yes, parents have to
Hmm.
start taking that lead. And as Miss
Right.
Regina said, drawing that line in the sand and say, if you cross
Absolutely.
this line, we're not friends. I'm your
Right.
mother. I'm
Exactly.
your father. We're
Exactly.
not friends. And
Exactly.
even when we got of age to this day, I still respect my mom
Oh,
and my dad.
absolutely.
That's my mom and my daddy.
Right.
I don't even look at them on no friends
Right, right,
level.
right. And then another thing too, like you said, even as adults, us as adults, there's no way my mama would see me curse if I cursed. I don't, but if I did, I would never do that. And
Right,
then my mama represented other adults as far as
right,
we were concerned. So I
right.
wasn't gonna do it with my mama, I wasn't gonna do it with anybody. What just really bothers me, we go out to some basketball games or tournaments and you see a 13-year-old, 12-year-old cussing where you got seniors sitting around. I'm like, excuse me, did you not see these people right here? And then again, I have to refrain sometimes because I understand that sometimes they don't know any better.
Hmm.
Sometimes the mama cussed the teacher out and the mama,
Hmm.
that type of thing is going on.
Yep.
So they have no idea how inappropriate that is and how totally disrespectful,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
is. So, in giving them the benefit of the doubt, we have to figure out which ones are environmentally handicapped. And out of those 886 that came through our program, we had several of them. But what I will tell you is this: they were teachable. We've never
Mm,
had a kid not make the grade. I'm talking about
right,
academically, emotionally,
right,
and socially. They made the
right.
grade. You knew not to embarrass us when you went out there wherever you were going, because if Coach Rob had to come and check you out of school or something like that, you was gonna have some problems. And again,
Mm,
he didn't have to put his hands on them or anything like that. They knew he was gonna be disappointed, and they
that's
didn't
right.
want that.
That's right. I love it. I love it. Oh, we got some more comments that came in here. Um, it has Sherry said he sure would was and basically agreeing with what I was saying about our parents. And Miss Regina said, "That's right. You didn't have any business." She agreeing
Right,
directly with you
right.
on that, Miss Charlotte. She said, "Back then, parents weren't afraid to be parents, but now it seems as if parents are afraid of their children. We
Mhm.
need to go back to the basics." I definitely agree, Miss Regina. Sherry also stated, "We went to school looking like we had chicken grease all on our foreheads. The oil would be dripping all down our faces. It sure would, honey. I'm telling you, I'm
Yeah,
like, can y'all just put like a little bit?
a
Like,
dot,
I
yeah,
mean, why, why you can't even put it here? They'll put it right here, and I'll be
right
rubbing
there.
it in,
Right,
trying to run to the
yes.
bus."
Right.
And Sherry said, "Hunty, I heard a 5-year-old cursing at their mom. I was like, what in the John Brown? 5
5
years
years old.
old."
Mhm.
Resh also stated, "We are now in the children having children era."
Yeah,
Absolutely,
true.
Resh. "Where
Yes.
a child is giving birth to a child while having
Mhm.
no knowledge of respect and value because it trickles down from the previous generation." Resh, that's
Imagine,
a mouthful.
that is a mouthful. Imagine if your grandmother is 37 years old. If your grandmother is 37 years old, there's a whole wisdom drop that you're not going to have. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
we're here with the TJ Robinson Life Center to kind of fill that gap. We
Hmm.
here because when you come up in here, I'm your auntie, I'm your mama. I'll be your my diva because I'm not a grandma, I'm a my diva. I'll be your my diva. We'll give you whatever it is you need to make sure you get, you're able to be successful when you get out there. And every kid that walks in this door, I take it personal. I take it personal. Every kid that walks in the door, I'm looking at them like, okay, so how can we pour in to this kid to make a difference? Because I realize that some of them are going to leave this environment and go back to some traumatic situations. And we got to account for that too, that they're going to leave this safe haven, that they come into the life center and they're going to
It's
go
true.
back out there to abuse, neglect, and all sorts of things like that.
Yes.
So those are the things too with the TJ Robinson Life Center, our social programs that we're working on. We're trying to ensure that we have some outreach programs that reach them once they leave the doors. I'll tell you a quick story. In our
Okay.
kitchen, we have a full commercial kitchen that is named after my mother's Ernie's Kitchen. My mom
Okay.
was a cafeteria worker for years and years and years. And the only trouble she ever got in on her job, she was suspended twice, put on probation because she was sneaking pork chop sandwiches in kids' bags before the lunchroom buddy thing came about. Way back
Right.
in the day when we were young, she was sneaking pork chop sandwiches in kids' bags because she knew that was the last time they were going to eat for that day.
Wow.
And um, she would get caught doing that, and you can't do that. Instead, they would take the food and throw it out. So my
Mm,
mom started a program way back in the day
mhm.
where she would collect quarters. She would collect quarters and she would always get paid, get a quarter and buy that kid whatever the meat was for the day. We were on
Mm,
her, I think it was her 80th birthday. She and I was in the Dollar Tree. There was a guy in front of us with his daughter, and he probably was about 35. And he turned around and he said, were you my cafeteria lady? He said it real low. My mom was
mm.
always on the phone,
Right.
in her mouth,
Right.
stuff all the time. So he said, were you my cafeteria? And I said, he's talking to you. And I said, yeah, she worked in the cafeteria. And he started to cry. He
Wow.
said, you made sure I wasn't hungry. You
Wow.
always made sure I wasn't hungry when I was in elementary school. This was a 35-year-old man. And he said, would you mind if I paid for your stuff that you had? And my mom said,
Wow.
no. And then when he left, he had his daughter's hand and she was looking up at him and he was just crying like that. And they walked out
Mm,
the store and the lady that was on the cash register, she said, do you realize what you changed his whole life?
whole life.
Said, you never let me be hungry.
Mm.
Oh, girl.
I
Come
know
on.
that did something
We're
to you,
talking
Miss
about
Charlotte.
basic needs, Lenore. That's why we have the showers in here dedicated to the homeless kids in Cumberland County. We have showers in our building dedicated just to them because
Wow.
there's nothing like you got to get your basic needs met,
Have
shelter,
to.
food. You got to
Have
get
to.
those things met. You know,
Have to.
you have to.
Yes, I love that those comments and how instrumental your mother was. And that young man never forgot your
Never
mom.
forgot that.
See, children don't forget. They don't
Never.
forget the good deeds and the bad
They
deeds.
don't
They do
forget either.
not
My
forget.
mother-in-law is over the conference room. It's the Roosevelt conference room. My mother-in-law and my father-in-law had 13 biological kids and raised about 18 others from some babies all the way up until they were old enough to go on their own. They were
Wow.
both community pillars of the community, raising kids, making a difference, and changing lives. So I don't know how my husband and I could really do anything else because that was kind of my grandmother was called the bread mama in the community because she fed everybody. So it's kind of like those were kind of things that were embedded in us as
Right.
kids, taking care of people. Everybody
Right.
took care of everybody. Nobody was
Yes.
hungry in my community. Nobody
Done.
needed nothing. When they killed a pig, a hog, a pig over on this side, everybody came and got
E-
meat.
Everybody
Went
ate.
to the sound and got seafood. All the widows and the single moms got seafood and stuff. So when a house burned down or they need to build something, everybody came together.
All
Everybody
we got to do
came
is
together.
just get back to the
Yeah.
basics.
Jesus was the foundation there. There was not a whole lot. The church was right in the middle of the little town, and you were there. You were there for church. You were there for Sunday school. You were there for the Bible stuff that they had. You were there. Like
Wow.
I said, my grandmother's last thing, 92 years old with dementia, was how can I get on my knees and pray and saying Bible verses and repeating those things she never forgot. She never
Mm.
forgot.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Listen, we have some comments coming in. Facebook again. Those of you who are watching, just want to make this brief announcement again. Facebook is not allowing for the comments to come on. There's some technical issues with Facebook and StreamYard, but I do see some LinkedIn comments, and I'm going to get to those in just a few minutes. So don't go anywhere because I do want to read and shout out those LinkedIn viewers. Brianna did state, she said, it's time for the village to do their part too. On the flip side of the things, yes, you have a lot of babies making babies. However, the younger grandmothers made decisions to not be in the child's life to assist, or some me new age. I'm sorry, she said, or some new age grandmothers may have said, "Well, I'm going to just live my life."
Mhm.
Unconsciously taught parents that my child is my everything and I'm going to give them the world so they will not leave me.
Mhm.
Then the power has now been given to the child versus the
Mhm.
parents or new aged parents because of their fear of being left alone. That's a
Good point.
great viewpoint there.
Mhm.
Regina said it's sad that they would punish her for trying to help a child, meaning your mother, not starve, knowing that the child had nothing to eat at home. And on LinkedIn, Yash, hold on, I'm gonna bring it back up. Yashida said, "Oh my God, that is so beautiful." Talking about the story of your
Mhm.
mother, and she also stated a 35-year-old man crying. That I'm telling you, that speaks volume,
Volumes.
Yashida. That speaks volume. Narky sent some hearts there, and she also stated that's how it should be. People helping people. And I absolutely agree with you on that, Narky. We definitely have to help each other. And I think the world has gotten away from that. Not everyone now,
Right,
because
of
you still
course.
have people
Of
helping
course.
people, such as Miss Charlotte, such as, some of the viewers who are watching. I can start calling names, but I don't want to miss anyone. There's some great people who tune in this
Absolutely.
podcast every time we're on. And I know that you are definitely helping people. And I just want to let you know that you are appreciated for that. Restated, kindness goes a long way. Kindness teaches compassion. Definitely agree with that. And Brianna said, I love that. I'm definitely going to research your agency. So the website is right there, tjrlifecenter.org. Thank you so much, Brianna. And Sherry also stated, please make sure you all share this podcast. Wow, she is definitely dropping some gems tonight. Isn't Miss Charlotte dropping some gems? She's dropping some amazing gems. And she talked about the elderly population. So we're going to take a minute and watch this quick video here. You all take a peek at this.
To be. The TJ Robinson Life Center senior programs have begun. We actually had a group of seniors come out. They start off with exercise. They warmed up a little bit. You got everything, loosed up. And then actually we started with just some basic exercise. We did some bicep curls. We did some leg lifts. And I think our 90-year-old said that the part that she most liked was the fact that she got to kick her legs up in the air. She really liked that. Everybody's engaged. It's excellent. Everything, what they need, weightlifting included.
We worked out our legs. I just recently had a hip redone. And they did some exercises to work that out.
Then we move into our conference room.
Bingo!
For games. Bingo and chess has been a big hit.
It was fun. It's always fun when you're with other people doing the same thing. And see, I live alone, so it's nice to get with other people.
Our heart is for people, and we don't want you just to be a number.
Then at the end of each session, we're going to have somebody come in and work with you on some aspect of your life that's important that you may not otherwise have the opportunity to go out to their department and see. We may have the fire department come in and do a home safety class. We may have the insurance department come in. How do I apply for Medicare A and B? So how do I write my will? How do I make sure, how do I find out how to get transportation to the grocery store? How do I get my sticker from DMV? So all sorts of things that seniors may need, we'll have somebody to come out and work with them on getting that information.
Gonna be back every chance I get. Like I said, I only stay a couple blocks from here because this is something you want to be a part of. This is groundbreaking, It don't happen every day. And when I grew up in St. Paul's, I never seen a boys and girls club or a gymnasium where we could play ball and do these types of things. It just didn't happen. But for it to be happening now and somebody to take this much time to put it together, it's amazing.
It just makes me feel good that we have a place to come like this because it's not another one in Cumberland County like it.
And that's the 411 on seniors at the TJ Robinson Life Center.
Wow, the TJ Robinson Life Center. Y'all see that? That was amazing. Now, we got some comments that came in. Miss Charlotte, I'm going to read these comments here. And I know you're at the center, so I know some calls going to be coming in. So this is what this podcast, we're real authentic and raw. So Sherry said, this is amazing. Wow. She said, this is amazing. Brianna sent some hand claps celebrating this Life Center. And she also stated, I so love this. Isn't this amazing? Yes, amazing. Now, was Miss Elaine, was that her name, Elaine? Was that the 90-year-old?
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. She looks amazing, Miss Charlotte.
Amazing. Sharp.
And I love it that you stated this earlier, but I just want to re-emphasize it. The agency, the Life Center, it caters to the young and the old, or people may want to say the young and the mature.
Exactly.
You all cover, I mean, all of it. And I think that is something that you don't see, because
Right.
oftentimes
Hmm.
the elderly population is forgotten about.
Right.
Because see, when I was younger, my parents, they took us, I mean, we were small toddlers, right?
Hmm.
My brother, we were talking about this the other day, and they used to take us to what they used to call the rest home. Did you hear
Hmm.
that terminology
Hmm.
before? The
Yep.
rest home. You
Right.
know, people call it now adult assisted
Hmm.
facility and different names. We call it a rest home. We used to go there. We used to sing, and we used to read the Bible to them. We did a lot of
Right.
outreach at a young age. And I think
Right.
that's why I gained an appreciation
Hmm.
for elderly people. Now, I'm going to be honest, I have to be transparent. Some of them, they did, I was a little fearful
Hmm.
of them,
Hmm.
but I was really young. But as I
Hmm.
grew and got, to more of an adolescent age, I understood them a little bit more, because different ones
Right.
had certain, different
Right.
abilities and
Hmm.
disabilities. So we were exposed to that at a very young
Hmm.
age. And I think that is the reason why myself and also my siblings, we have a great appreciation for the elderly population. So I know we kind of touched on this earlier, but kind of let's revisit that, the importance of us reaching back to the older adult population.
How we include the seniors into the Life Center is, I was thinking about all of that wisdom. My grandmother was the smartest person I've ever met to date.
Mm,
With a second grade education, I'm sorry, first grade education, could not read, write, made an X. Smartest person I've ever met, hands down, my hero. And I think about all the wisdom that she had, and I'm thinking we got to get that in here, because that's one of the missing pieces for the
yes.
kids is the wisdom. So
Yes.
what we did, a part of our basketball program was our kids did the same thing. We did the same thing with our basketball players that your parents did with you. They had to go do community service, go on Sundays to the nursing homes and work with the seniors. So there's another group too that I think that our kids need to be introduced to early, so they'll keep the compassion for, and that's the special needs population.
Yes.
I find a
Yes.
lot of people, adults and kids, either are afraid or
Yes.
either they have no empathy for somebody that's special needs. So this summer, when we had our summer program, we were one of the few summer camps that let special needs kids come into our program. And we did that
Wow.
on purpose because we wanted to introduce to other kids that, listen, this person is different than you, but they're
Hmm.
great also. See what I'm saying?
Right.
God made them, God made you.
That's
So
right.
with our seniors with our seniors and with our this population with disability, we need to reach back to those groups
That is
and
so
make it an
true.
all inclusive situation. And that's what the Life Center does. It makes it
Mm,
an all inclusive place to be. So special need kids are welcome. I've actually petitioned the school board to include a special needs sports program. Because as far as I'm concerned, why don't special needs children have basketball, volleyball, or whatever?
that's right.
Their parents pay taxes. They want to. The parents want to come out and see them. So
That's
we want
right.
to include a special needs sports program, so they don't have to wait till once a year for Special Olympics.
That is right, Miss
Yeah,
Charlotte.
so let's include them. And then there's another special group that's near and dear to my heart, and that is the kids that age out of the foster care system. What
Mm,
happens to them? They age out of the foster care system, and they didn't have it so good in the beginning. Maybe with the foster parents, they could not have gotten what they
right.
needed, and now you're putting them out in the street. How is that supposed to work out? So what
Right.
we want to do is also have wraparound services for that population
Mm.
also.
I
Yes.
love it. I love it. And you're right about those different populations. including them in there. That is so important, especially those special needs children,
Mhm.
because, like you stated, oftentimes they are overlooked, and children that are not exposed or
Mhm.
educated about them,
Right,
then they make very ignorant comments or
right,
treat them
right,
differently. Because I was at homecoming for my high school last Friday night, and
right.
I was sitting on the bleachers, and I saw this young man, and he was, he attended my school, Terry Sanford, the
Mhm,
school that I graduated from, and I could tell he was special needs, and the
mhm,
music was playing, and he was bouncing, and he was looking for his friends that he was sitting with. I guess he went to go grab a snack or
mhm,
something of that nature. And I was looking around, and that instinct with the instinct on the
mhm,
inside of me. I mean, I am Lenore Pores, but I had
mhm.
this instinct like no one better treat him any different or say something
Right,
smart to him, because I could pick up that he had a
right,
disability, and he was
right.
like looking to see where his friends were, and he
Mhm,
finally found them, and he was able to sit and
mhm.
engage with them. So as you stated, that population, they definitely need to be catered to and incorporate more activities for them as well.
Correct.
We have some additional comments that came in, and Miss Regina wanted to know, does the Life Center offer craft classes?
Our seniors have classes, and we're right in the middle of establishing other programs. Like I said, the social side of it, I think will be in full effect probably in the next 30 days or so.
Okay.
So if Miss Regina has a craft class or the ability to do one, we're saying bring it on. If it's a program, yes, we want other people, because we're not the only people in Cumberland County that
Right,
want to take care of people. So what we're saying
right.
is, if you have a skill set, you want to bring a program to the center, just come on out, sit down and talk to us about it. If it's spiritual, if it's going to help one of the populations that we've spoken about, or one that we haven't mentioned, then bring it on out. We would love to partner. We're a community project. We have the ability so far to have brought on the county commissioners, finally came on board. We got the Board of Education on board. Fayetteville State University was out last week. They're on board. So we
Woo-hoo,
want,
my alma mater, wearing my
yes, me too.
my
I don't
sweat.
have my shirt on, but me too. So we want all these small businesses. We want you to come in, because this is going to be a place where we're going to be running 1,500 people or so through here on the weekends through our sporting side of the program, where we are designated as a regional sports facility. And we've also been designated as Cumberland County's disaster shelter. So if anything was to happen, 3,200 people could come into this building for a disaster shelter.
Did y'all hear that?
100
3,200.
people. Yes, ma'am.
3,200
Yes, ma'am.
individuals can go to the TJR Life Center if there is a disaster. That's
Disaster shelter.
amazing.
Sports complex, disaster shelter, and also social program hub.
Love it. Love it.
Mhm.
And Miss Regina had mentioned this, and you already answered this. Are volunteers allowed, and can anyone
Oh,
come out and teach
please.
craft
Come
classes?
on,
So,
come on,
Miss
come
Regina,
on.
just hook up with
Listen.
Miss Charlotte. Miss Charlotte, give them the address.
It is 4221 Black Bridge Road. It's right off of Goffview, turns into Black Bridge, past the fire station. We're looking for volunteers. We want you to volunteer. We want you to donate. We want you to sponsor. I know it's at the end of the year where some people are looking, where am I going to make this donation? We're 501c3. Make it right here. We're looking for your prayers. Anything that you think that you can do for this program, we're here and saying, come on board.
Yes, yes, yes. And Sherry also stated, my mom still goes to the assisted living facility every chance she gets. And she definitely does. She definitely does. You got to meet her
Right.
last week. She
Yeah,
does.
I
And she
did.
does
Walking
giveaways.
8 miles. Your mom walking 8 miles a day. Yes.
Yes. She had me out there yesterday. I did 8 miles with her, Miss Charlotte.
Wow.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
I was like, Lord, just give me the strength.
Give you the strength.
And he did. He
Mhm.
did. And somebody saw me walking with her and they said, "Oh, you about to walk her into the ground, aren't you?" I was like, she tries,
Oh,
but I'm gonna
yeah.
hang with her. And I definitely did. Definitely did. And Brianna said, "You are so awesome." That's a comment that she
Thank
stated.
you.
Sherry also stated there is now a program called the Transitional Unit for 18 to 21 year of age children through DSS, which assists foster children.
Great.
And that is a transitional unit for years 18 to 21. Miss Regina also said awesome. And Brianna said, wow. Sherry also said, there you go, Miss Regina. Boss girl, volunteer your craft. And she's very crafty. I mean, she
Good.
makes t-shirts, she make
Absolutely.
reads, she does it all. I mean, there's so much that Miss Regina does, and she also makes some amazing collard green egg.
Oh, girl. Bring them vegetables
Honey,
on over here, please.
she can cook. She can
We have a
cook, and she
full
know I'm a
commercial.
foodie, so I'm her taste
Yes, yes.
taste tester. So she
Mhm.
always like she tries something. She's like, Lenore, you want to? Absolutely, I'm on my way. I'm en route.
Here I am. Right. Here I am.
Yes. So I also want to mention, I wanted to go back because you said something very, very important. And I think it's so important to say it again. You stated that you all have community showers at the Life Center
Mm-hmm.
for the homeless where they can come in and take a shower.
Right.
You also have a community barber shop where barbers
Mm-hmm.
can actually go in and they can't charge. It's on
Right.
the house, but
Right.
they can go in there
Mm-hmm.
and they can cut hair
Mm-hmm.
for any young person that they may be attending a game there, and they
Right.
may see a young male who
Mm-hmm.
may lack hygiene as far as their hair.
Right.
And they can say, okay, talk to the parent or talk to you all and say, we
Mhm.
want to cut, their hair. And they can
Right.
go right over into your barber shop there
Yep.
and they can cut that young person hair.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Absolutely.
what about stylists? Can young girls get their hair styled?
Absolutely. We've asked barbers and beauticians to donate their time to come in and be on staff. And with the showers, they're dedicated to the homeless kids in Cumberland County. There's no other place dedicated for them to actually come in and be able to take a shower. So, and a shower means a shower can change your life. So,
What?
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. So just think about barbers and stylists who are out there. If there's a homeless child that comes in, they take a shower,
Mhm.
then you cut their hair or style
Mhm.
their hair. You're giving them a
Amazing. You're giving them
whole
life.
level of
You're
confidence.
giving
You're
them life.
giving them life that they can step out and
Giving them
say,
life.
I feel brand new. You're giving them a sense of pride.
Right.
As a woman, when I get my hair done, I'm like,
Mhm.
okay. I mean, it gives me a level of confidence. So just think
Right.
about this young boy, this young girl that
Mhm.
you can actually make a difference and make a change in their life.
Right.
And not only that, but you all have like a massage room.
We got a
for-
massage parlor. We got a massage parlor. We did that so that students that needed their community hours would be able to come in, but also so that our seniors and our patrons would be able to enjoy such a luxury at a discounted rate. Yep.
Love it. Love it. So you know what? I want to show those of you who are just tuning in because we're actually after our time here, but I want to show you all the video. For those of you who you tuned in late, my brother Josh was on. He said just tuning in after practice. Thank you. I want to show you all this video. So make sure that you watch this video real quick about the TJR Life Center. Take a quick look.
Why there's so much excitement about this place. I mean, look at this place. You have a 57,000 square foot community center / sports complex. Brand spanking new, 3 springback floors, 2 hardwood courts. We can play 5 basketball games or 9 volleyball games at one time. You come talking about a place that has a full commercial kitchen, 2 large conference rooms, a massage parlor, a barber shop. Why are they excited about this place? Why would anybody not be excited about this place?
See, y'all seen that? That place is huge. That place is huge. Yes,
57,000 square feet.
57,000 square feet. And
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken, because I want to read these other comments as well, Miss Charlotte, it also states that, goodness gracious, my thought just went. It also stated that one of them, like, are NBA
we have
style. Can
NBA.
you
We have
elaborate on
NBA.
that?
Yes, ma'am. We have 5 courts. The one in the back is a hardwood court and it's NBA size court, which means that it's striped for high school, collegiate, and NBA play.
Do y'all hear that?
Mhm.
High school, the collegiate level,
And
if the Charlotte Hornets
Mhm.
and if the Warriors wanted to come and do a little thing for the community,
Come on down.
they can do it right there at the TJR Life Center because it has the NBA capacity.
Absolutely.
Now, this facility, the TJR Life Center, is the only facility like this in this region. Is that correct, Ms.
Well, what makes it unique is it is the only private owned, Black owned sports complex in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, or Virginia.
My gracious.
And let me add this because I want the viewers to hear this on their way out. I always say
we're going to talk a little bit over, so go ahead.
Our faith and our integrity is what kept us going for 11 years, 4 months, and 9 days. Okay. And when I say private owned, I mean no grants, no support, pushback from the town, and he still did it. He being him, the Most High, he still did it. 11 years, 4 months, and 9 days. For March the 7th is when we open the doors. And during that time, there was all sorts of no's, 144 of them from financial institutions. That was 144 banks told us, no, you're not going to get the money to finish it. You know how many people? I can't even count. I stopped counting the different entities and groups that said no, but he said yes. So that only goes to show you that if God says yes, we don't care who says no. He did it. 57,000 square foot privately owned sports complex community center right here in your Hope Mills, Fayetteville, Cumberland County area.
Did y'all just catch that, audience? Did y'all just catch that? 144 no's. See, some of us give up after the first no.
11 years, 4 months, and 9 days.
And it took 11 years, but the resiliency, the passion, the purpose, and the prayers, and the call did not allow Miss Charlotte and Coach Rob to give up. And not only that, Miss Charlotte, you share with me, and I got to read these other comments coming in. You shared with me that you all faced foreclosure twice. Is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Three times.
Three times. It was knocking at the door. But look, I was so dug in that I said I would have been the one. If they would have sold it, I'd have still been here planting grass and doing other things because I knew it was ours. I knew it was ours and I knew it belonged to the community. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. Y'all, resiliency and knowing when you're called for a purpose, you got to live it out regardless of the opposition that you face. And when I was there, I was able to briefly look over her timeline and some of the things that she faced, the adversity that she faced. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But we're going to get back to that. Let me read these comments real quick. Roderick stated, a shower does change your life. I feel it every time I get done cutting grass. So we know it would change these young homeless children's lives as well. And Joshua also, Red X stated, an edge up and haircut would change a man's life. It sure will. It would give them a whole new attitude. And Sherry said, you better say so. Red also stated, love it. And he said, Fayetteville in all caps. Fayetteville needs this. I definitely agree. Brianna said, you better say that. Thank you, God. Red said, history making definitely is history making, y'all. Private owned sports complex, 57,000 square feet. Definitely history making. And we got to get the word out so more support and people can
Right.
utilize this facility. Regina said, look at God. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Also, Roderick said your testimony gave me a hallelujah. So he's saying hallelujah. It gave him hallelujah. Not only that, but I'm sure it also gives others who are watching the mindset to keep pushing. When you have a purpose, a vision, a goal in mind, keep pushing, because we oftentimes will get discouraged because we're human. But we got to keep that resiliency and keep going in that perseverance and just move forward. Now, you faced adversity, but you overcame adversity. You faced challenges, but you overcame the challenges, you and your husband. Now, you didn't receive any bank loans. You didn't receive any grants. So who funded this entire project?
Well, you would have to know Coach Rob and his spending mentality. I told you when you were here that still today, you know, we got to get the hamburger and come home and get some cheese on it. You know, that kind of mindset. So as we were started out in 1988 and became entrepreneurs and had different businesses and stuff like that, what we did, our mindset was to always live at about 30 to 40% of our means, you know, and for us, that was normal. So as we made more money, we stayed right here. So when it became time to do this project, we funded what we funded. And I'm telling you right now, I told you 3 years into it, I stopped trying to make the receipts add up because they don't make no sense, even to the day. So I'm going to say 40% us, 60% him, 100% him. But I can't explain to you other than this is a spiritual place, how we have been able to get this place, 57,000 square foot off the ground, up and going. And it's beautiful. Full commercial kitchen, conference room, retail store, barbershop, massage parlor, and 5 collegiate sized courts with 1 NBA hardwood court in the back. And also 3 acres of, which is phase 2, which is going to be football and soccer, multi-purpose fields in the back.
Did y'all hear that? They are going to have a football field, soccer field, and a multi-purpose field in the back. And it sits, hold on, Miss Charlotte, because I don't know if we said this, but I got to tell the people, it sits on 10 acres of land, y'all.
Absolutely.
10 acres of land. And not only that, Miss Charlotte, can I say about the other side of the highway, but and if you look across the street, they own another 10 acres of land. Y'all, I'm telling you, it's amazing. Sherry said, yes, it is gorgeous. And she said, we heard that. Brianna sent some eyes. She was like, when you was like, y'all and Jesus did this, she was like, huh? Yes, they did. And this is a multi-million-dollar facility. And when you go in there, they also have a weight room.
Oh, what about the weight room? Yeah.
We didn't even talk about the weight room. And you have a multi-purpose room. So when I showed the video of the seniors and they were sitting in the room, that's a multi-purpose room. It's gorgeous. You all have to go do a field trip. Go by there and see it. Take a field trip. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Before we go, there's a few other things I want to talk about, and then I want to show the video of these young men again. We have to see that before we end the show. But you went, and I'm not going to get in the whole, I don't want to get, I'm not going to call any names but one name. You know where I'm going in regards to this. But she sought help from government. She sought help from council, from, county commissioners and different things of that nature. And they even told her no. but she kept going.
Mhm.
But I did see in the video this one gentleman, and I heard that this gentleman is very instrumental in helping getting things done. And that was John Soka. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. You know, I reached out to all different municipalities here in Hope Mills and in Cumberland County.
Mhm.
Democrats, Republicans, you know, I invited everybody out because again, when we started this project, it was all about community.
Right.
Certainly all about community now. And John Stoker was the only one who took the challenge and assisted us in doing the the highway, helping us with DOT. So for that, I give a shout out to him. He's actually running for county commissioners here in Cumberland County. He stepped down from the Senate and he's running for county commissioner. And I would encourage anybody that's out there voting, which, you know, you're talking about everybody needs to vote. And I always say, vote your conscience and vote your mission, what you got going on all across party lines, all across colors, because none of that should matter. You should be looking for somebody who's going to do what it is you need to do. And he was that person for us, John Soker for county commissioner.
So y'all heard it, and I'm going to reemphasize it because this is something that has been on my heart. And it's in regards to that oftentimes, and I'm going to speak from a place where I'm at, okay? I am of African-American descent. If you want to say Black, I am a Black woman. And I'm going to talk in regards to our culture. A lot of times we vote based upon what somebody else tell us to vote or what we have historically voted as, and we don't do any type of research. But my belief and what I would tell anyone who's watching, don't vote based upon color and vote based upon gender. If you are of a faith, and I'm just going to say of a Christian faith, because that's what I believe in, we need to be voting based upon kingdom principles.
Kingdom principles.
We need to look and see what that person's agenda is and what they are in support of. And if it conflicts with the kingdom principles, that person should not be having your vote. I'm just going to put it just like that and say it just like that. Because oftentimes we want to celebrate the first of this, the first of that. That person looks like me, that person is of my gender. Because it gives us some type of sense of pride. And it's okay to be, you know, have that sense of pride. But if that person does not align with the principles, the kingdom principles, if you're saying you're of kingdom faith, then you should not be voting that way. And like you said, we as a people, a lot of times they vote of a certain party. I don't care what party it is, purple party, pink party, Democrat, Republican party, whoever party you choose to vote for. Don't just vote based upon that party. Vote based upon that agenda and how it aligns.
Absolutely.
That's what I wanted to say about that. Because we
Absolutely.
are in the voting season and there's a lot of promises. Oh, promise here, promise that, promise this, and promise that. And people been voting for parties based upon promises, and your promises ain't even came to pass and probably won't be coming to pass. So you have to look beyond those parties and look at the agenda. And like you said, you reached out to everybody, but this gentleman, a Republican, right, said, okay, I'll make sure that you get the turning lanes. And when you go out there and you look on Black Bridge, you will see how there are some beautiful turning lanes when you turn into the TJR Life Center and turn out of the TJR Life Center. You will see there are beautiful turning lanes. And I use like beautiful turning lanes. Yes, they have some nice turning lanes. Go ahead, Miss Charlotte.
Okay, but I just want to close by saying, I want to like piggyback off of what you said about the voting. A lot of times with our people, and when I talk to young people, I said, don't let somebody, really, I don't even think they should let politicians speak. They shouldn't be able to speak. And I'm going to tell you why I feel that way. I feel that way because you should not listen. By this time, we should be all educated enough to not listen to anything that they got to say, what they going to do. What you should do instead is look at what they've already done,
Mhm.
because that will be an indicator of what they're going to continue to do after you put them in the seat. So they shouldn't even be able to say nothing. Stop letting them come to the black churches once every 2
Please
weeks.
tell the
Come up
people.
there and say what's going to happen, and you know you're not going to see them again until the next time. Go and look at what they've done, because what they've done is what they're going to continue to do. Who they've supported is going to be who they continue to support. That's a fact.
And stop listening to mainstream media. Yes, we didn't went to the TJR Life Center to vote because we're in the voting season, okay? Early voting started last week, October the 20th. Please stop listening to mainstream media. And like she said, look at their past voting record. Okay?
Get out there and vote for Rosalind Hood or Francis Jackson, somebody who has a proven record of doing what it is that they say that they're going to continue to do. Get out there and look and see what has already happened. That's the only indicator of what is going to continue to happen. That's it.
That's true.
That's it.
That's true. Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
after you get somebody, an adult, they're going to do what they've been doing. That's the final word on that.
Yep. They're going to continue to do what they've previously done. So Sherry said we heard that, and Zanetta and Regina is having some conversation in regards to getting Regina getting involved there at the Life Center with her crafting, and maybe y'all get some egg rolls too. I'm just putting in that. But if you do, make sure that I'm there. just make sure, Miss Shaw, that I am there for the egg rolls. Okay. All right. Brianna said, I just sat here and ate 5 butter cookies because of how happy I am for y'all, honey. Miss Charlie, you got people eating butter cookies. Okay, Brianna, you need to head to the Life Center tomorrow and do some walking because they got an indoor track.
Got an indoor track, Brianna.
And Sherry said, you have no sense responding to Brianna. They also was agreeing what I was saying earlier in regards to the vote. And she said, you better say it, sisters, what my Sherry's sister said. And Brianna said, drops mic. And Brianna said she couldn't wait to say this. It's so true though, Nora. Honey, I couldn't wait. I was waiting for this episode. You hear me? Because I did a video last week, Miss Charlotte. This is funny. I did a video on October the 20th, the day that early voting started. And I sent it to my siblings, but I was like, no, I'm not going to post it. I said, I'm going to wait for it to be on the podcast so people can replay it. So yes, it's for the record. It's for the record, and I mean what I say, and I say it in love. All right, y'all need to know better. When you know better, you do better. And Sherry agreed with Brianna. She said she sure cannot. I sure cannot. And that's why I did it. It's the Lenore Porras podcast. Hello, start y'all if you want to say something different. Okay. Brianna said a lot of wisdom and knowledge on the platform tonight. Sure is. And Miss Charlotte dropped some wisdom for y'all. Sherry said, Miss Charlotte, you better say so. Look at what they did and not what they say they're going to do. They said that. So, Miss Charlotte, we're going to play this video of the 4 young men. Well, I think it was 3. It was 3, but the 4th one, I guess, is Jesus because we ain't see him on there. But but we're going to watch that real quick, and we'll come back and have our final conversation, okay?
My name is Marshall Watley, aka Chris, from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
My name is Bobby Duncan, and I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
My name is James McGugan from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
My name is Pleasure Bohannon, and I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
I was 14 when I first began. We won our first championship together.
I was part of the program about 5 years. I started in 9th grade. I played through high school, then I went to college.
I was 11 when I started the program, and I was with Coach Rob for 2 years.
Coach Rob is an idol. He's just a respectable man. Everyone shows him respect.
Well, Coach Rob has always implemented that hard work beats talent. So even through practice, even through school, if you're not going to work hard, you're not going to get far, no matter how talented you can be. So with that being said, man, he always told me work hard with my trade and being a father. Even if I'm outside, pay attention when you're driving. Work hard at that if you're not good at it.
My grades changed dramatically. He helped me out through the years, and I definitely wouldn't have graduated if it wasn't for him.
I feel like Coach Rob gave me more direction of where I needed to be, where I needed to go. I realized if I wanted to play, I had to make good grades. So, hey, I was on the court, you know?
Definitely academics was major for him.
I had to get my grades up with Coach Rod, he wouldn't let you play, wouldn't let you be around if you didn't have no high grades. So it wasn't bad though. He always made it fun.
We'd have study hall, and he had to make sure we were in there. If not, we wouldn't be able to practice that day.
He stressed the fact to get those grades up. You know, he got in there if he had to, but he made you do it.
Now I'm an HVAC certified, so that means like I work on air conditioners. I have my own trade and that, so I can work for any company, even work for myself.
Now, I just did 1 year of my master's. I'm going to the military so they can provide me with the education I need.
I'm in the Army. I'm a paratrooper. And I went to college for business. I went on my business one day.
Hopefully one day I'll be able to have a company so I can give it to my son. With him telling me hard work to stay in it, you're gonna run through a few walls, but as long as you keep going with your hard work, maybe one day I can have that company and I can pass it on to him.
Coach Rob always told me how to be your own boss. Hey, I'm here.
I'm an athlete, so I'm gonna stay in the gym and maybe open a gym like my man Coach Rob. But I just want to be successful, honestly.
I mean, I really want to be a coach also, and I think Coach Rod really showed me the right way to do it. Like, you know, he's supportive, he's always in the gym, so he definitely laid down a foundation on how to be a good coach.
All right. So be the change that you want to see. And Coach Rob and Miss Charlotte, definitely, they have been the change that they want to see. And it is evident and it shows. Miss Charlotte, any final words? Because I know you're tired. You've probably been going all day long. But I just want you to have final words before we end this podcast, which is my season finale, but I'll be back next year, but I'll be dropping some content later on. But yes, this is the season finale of the podcast, Lenora Porras. So it's a pleasure having you on. So any final words on tonight?
Well, I just want to thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. And if the audience takes nothing else from this, I just want them to keep in mind that your faith and your integrity means everything. And if your vision is a vision that you can control, it is not your vision. Look a little further out. And I just thank God for the opportunity to be a servant and to serve this community. If anybody out there want to get involved, you can get involved by sponsorships, donation, volunteering, or just praying for the organization. So again, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. And everybody else out there, it's the tjrlifecenter.org, and we're located at 4221 Blackbridge Road in Hope Mills, your great Cumberland County.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Charlotte. And I am going to basically we're just, going to show this. The banner is already up there, so I'm not going to show it. It's already up there. tjrlifecenter.org. We flashed that a few times now. So you all make sure that you go and support this great organization. Do what you can to support and spread the word, because a lot of people, they don't even know about the organization. They opened in April of this year, and we want them to continue to go strong. Everyone, always remember you were born for a purpose, and that purpose is to pour into the lives of others. Miss Charlotte, please stay on. Everyone have a great night, and thank you. I just want to read these last comments. Miss Regina was the last comment. She said, "This was a great podcast. I loved it. Keep up the good work." Thank you so much, Miss Regina. Love you all so much. Have a great night. And you all know, if you need to reach me, you know how to reach me. Take care. I hope that you enjoyed tonight's porn session as much as I did. Listen, please share with your family and your friends. And if you want to find out more information about Lenora Porras, please visit our website, www.lenoralasser.com, to find out how I and our team can partner with your organization or to partner with you. I look forward to hearing from you. Until next time, remember, you are born for a purpose, and that purpose is to pour into the lives of others.